All right, everybody, thank you for joining me once again right here on the Florentino Rebuilding Company YouTube channel, your outpost on the West Coast. Uh, what you're looking at right now is in Anaheim, the Southern Pacific Freight Depot or Freight Station. Not sure if they ever had passenger service out of here. These were more the freight lines, even back in the steam days. This will be the freight lines that would lead you coming into Orange County. Let's take a little walk. So this location is slightly west of the actual downtown center of Anaheim. It's actually, even though you see Union Pacific locomotives, the Union Pacific took over the Southern Pacific. And these are the locomotives. The freight trains come down, freight manifests come down from City of Industry. These locomotives right here, these Dash 8s, Dash 9s, will deliver the manifest trains down here, hand them off to the local crews, which use anything from, now they're using one of these Jeep 38s, Jeep 39s, and then these local switchers will deliver them into Orange County proper. But at one time, this was all Southern Pacific. You'd find ton of motors here. Whatever you can think of was parked here, more like a maintenance facility. Now, it wasn't used for passengers because the actual little the Pacific Electric brought passengers into Orange County on their trolley system. Southern Pacific took that over eventually, like around the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And we're not going to get too much closer. This is about as far as we go. Just gives you an idea. Sleepy little typical Orange County town. Eventually, Southern Pacific took over those former Pacific Electric lines, and they also, we won't cover those, but they also run freight to those lines up until recently. So there's a lot of nooks and crannies and nuances about this particular facility. I've been coming here for a couple decades also. It was more interesting back in the day, and as we check out this graffiti local, actually it's pretty interesting if it wasn't so sad, but give you a close-up look. All right, so we're out of here. Hold on one second. Just a nice little quiet, sleepy railroad facility that I've known for many, many, many years. Let's work our way back. Anyways, the part I was doing about Fullerton Depot yesterday, we had to come back the next day and finish that today. This is going to be hopefully a quick but very, very interesting part 4. If you're into railroads, like I said, if you're a model railroader or real railroads, this is going to be a very, very interesting part 4 or part 5 finale, the final of Fullerton or Fullerton area. I've got some really, really, really nice surprises I want to share with you. I'm not just going to pop it in. I don't want to lose viewers, so I'm going to mention what they're going to be, and hopefully you'll stick around. You'll hear something that's going to catch your eye. But pretty much, what we're gonna capture is we're going to go ahead and show you guys shots of the Union Pacific depot, the passenger depot. Beautiful depot that's still there. They had to move that across the tracks way back when, and it's now the spaghetti factory. And we're also going to show you where the Pacific Electric tracks actually ran, right there behind the depot, ending up in that restaurant, in Maury's restaurant, the Hopscotch Tavern. And then I have a secret location that I don't share with many. Maybe less than a handful of people know, that I've shown. But I'm going to share it with the world right now, because hopefully these things will be around forever more, many more years down the road, or they're going to rip them up at any time, looks like it. Last remaining actual rails in the ground still. Nice long section of actual Pacific Electric trackage, and we'll share that with you at the end, and then we'll call this a day. Hopefully you'll stick around for that. Anyways, it's hot like yesterday, it's warm, it's nice and toasty, so let's head on over there and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back in the parking lot of the Fullerton depot. The Fullerton depot, which we visited yesterday, is to my back, and facing us here is, on the opposite side of the parking lot, is the Union Pacific Fullerton depot, which is now the old spaghetti factory. No, we're on the wrong side of the sun, but you guys could just bear with me. It's a beautiful depot. It's beautiful inside. It's a wonderful place to come and eat, have your dinner and stuff like that. So they actually moved this depot from across the tracks, and I'll go shoot that little location for you guys real quick right now. And this would have been like the old freight platform. Santa Fe, the Santa Fe depot we were at yesterday is right there. Just a beautiful, relaxing. You can actually even, I used to bring like my girlfriend and her kids and stuff like that. It's a cool place to have fun, relax after dinner, watch trains zip by, either in the daytime, the afternoon, or in the evenings. Actually very, very, very enjoyable. It's a very friendly atmosphere. Once again, we're on the wrong side of the sun. We'll be right back. Another beautiful, warm Southern California Sunday, lazy Sunday afternoon. Santa Fe Depot, the passenger platform, and then our entrance to the old. And those of you who've never been to the old spaghetti factory to eat, actually, it's very, very cool, quick, simple, enjoyable meal. Union Pacific Depot, built 1922, has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places by the United States Department of the Interior. This plaque was placed here by the Fullerton Heritage back in 1995. And we won't go in or anything like that and bug people, but you kind of get the idea. So we're going to show you where the station once stood when it served passenger service for the Union Pacific. So they dragged it from over there across the tracks to its current location. Isn't she a beauty? Come on, let's walk over there.
Once again, folks, this is Metrolink 1663. This is not the Surfliner for Amtrak. Please make sure you're on the correct train. Once again, this is a Metrolink train. This is not the Amtrak Surfliner.
We're going to shut our camera off. So we're on the furthest west side of the passenger platform, as far as we can go. We're looking, there's still a bunch of old packing houses there that have been turned into commercial, like industry and stuff. One day we'll go over there and visit. I do have plans on doing that very near future, shooting all the packing houses that are still in existence in my area here in Orange County, which is the capital of citrus. That's why I got the name Orange County way back when. Anyways, the Union Pacific Depot, the Union Pacific line ran just past those buildings you see off in the distance, kind of like behind them. And we're going to go visit that location here and film all that good stuff. So I keep saying the word dragged. Maybe that's just the way I talk. Harbor Boulevard, this is a bridge. Harbor Boulevard is down below, and you can hear the cars zipping by. But back then, Harbor Boulevard was at grade level. It was here. It was a road, and it was paved. It was a crossing. So the pictures I've seen, and I kept using the word trolley. It wasn't dragged over on a trolley. It was heavy-duty house movers placed it on cribbing on their dollies, moving dollies, and maybe lowboy trailers, and moved it across very slowly. They didn't want to get hung up on the curvature of the road or the main line or anything, and they dragged it to its current location, which is where we just came from right there. It's pretty interesting, huh? All that stuff's on Google that if you ever want to see pictures. Plenty of black and white pictures of that happening once upon a time. Now let's go ahead and let's do a little walking. So I think what we're going to be doing is taking advantage of the spring weather out here. We're going to actually, I'm going to start scouting out shooting locations. I got a lot of packing houses in and around kind of like where I live. And those are extremely fascinating. A lot of them are still up. A lot of them are still being used for other types of industry, not for citrus industry, but I'm leaving the camera on. We're talking because I want to explain a little bit what's going to happen. And they're kind of spread out a little bit within the area kind of where I live, but they're still spread out nonetheless. So we're going to scout them out this time to shoot during the day, try and get some info before and after pictures for you guys. But they're really, real interesting. It'll probably be another 2 or 3 part video series. And yeah, best time to shoot is in the spring. So I'll get those. Hopefully we'll be posting them on YouTube here in the next coming weeks. That's all I can say. There's our Santa Fe Depot we visited yesterday. So we're getting close to the end of this video. I just want to share with you guys something. So this is the Santa Fe Depot. Then you got the little parking lot. And then you got the Pacific Electric Depot, which is now the Hopscotch Tavern over there we visited yesterday. So the Pacific Electric tracks ran right down the middle in between these two. Yes, we had pretty much all four railroads, Southern California, that kind of met here in this hub. So the Pacific Electric trolleys would come down from La Habra, not too far from La Mirada. They'd come south this way, cross over the little Fullerton Hills. They would make a right turn and start heading west, just beyond those buildings you see way off in the distance there, in the center of your camera. We're gonna head over there right now. They would run down this street here, in the middle of the street, and right when they got here in front of the Santa Fe Depot, they made a turn right here, and they only had about another 1,000 feet to go, the end of the line, to the restaurant we visited, the Hopscotch Tavern we visited yesterday with Maury, right there. And that's where you saw that picture where Maury took us into his restaurant or his tavern, and he showed us the black and white picture on the wall where we saw the Pacific Electric car parked right up against the Pacific Electric Depot building, and that happened right there. And the tracks ran right down here and curved and went out that way so they could start their return journey back to LA proper, Los Angeles proper. Now I mentioned something about there's still a nice big section of actual Pacific Electric track intact in the ground, and it's right down there, and we're gonna go over there right now. We're gonna jump in my truck and head on over there, and we're almost at the near end of this video, and we're gonna show you where the tracks turned from this east-west direction you're looking at, where they turned and where they headed back northbound, and that area is still in existence. Let's check it out. Real quick, interesting stuff for you railroad nerds, you model railroad nerds, and you fans of tractions and trolleys. And I'm gonna just start sharing my secret locations with all you guys. Might as well, I'm not gonna live forever. Be right back. So you all know how we love old buildings here on the Florentino Rebuilding Company YouTube channel. And look what we found here. What a sweetheart. We're on the wrong side of the sun once again. The sun is at high noon, so it's not even, I can't even fake it. So we'll shoot it a different way. We'll walk right up upon it since we gotta walk alongside her. Santa Fe Depot, Fullerton Santa Fe Depot, where we came from, is way off in the distance. Pacific Electric ran right down these tracks to get to the depot. Right down the middle of the street, I should say. Kept going beyond that brand new construction there, and a little bit beyond that there was a field where it would make a left-hand turn and begin its trip back to LA north along that way, which we're going to cover because that little field is still there, and I can't believe it's been there all these years. Now the tracks are still in the ground here. It's almost impossible to show you guys It's new pavement because they've done new construction here. But for years, this was old, faded away asphalt, and the tracks were clearly visible. And the lumps and stuff, all they did was pave over them. They're still there, and I can see them here, but that would be impossible for you guys to almost make out here. Right here, you can see the width of the rail. In this view here, you can't really tell, but you could see the lumps. See, there's one side right there. And there's the other side. And you guys can't see the mounds, the shape, how the asphalt still kind of forms. It stops here for a while because of that manhole. You can barely make out some faint. But when we get to that sun up ahead, we're going to show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, right here, clearly visible the width of the rail. Showing you guys all my secrets now, so hopefully you guys won't go blabbing all over the internet. Let me see that crack line, that long crack line in the middle row there that sits on top of the rail. Stops for the manhole and then continues. With Fullerton Depot and the PE Depot being off in the distance there in the center of your camera, of your TV screen. Pretty cool, huh? Like I said, many years ago when it was still this brand new asphalt, it's already starting to fade, but when it was old original asphalt, you could clearly see the tracks and the piece where the asphalt was starting to separate and the rails being exposed underneath. This is how the Pacific Electric got into Fullerton, and it ended the journey at the Pacific Electric Depot, which is to my back. Once upon a time, I think passenger service in Orange County started to die about the late 20s and 30s. It may have continued as freight, but the passenger service stopped around the late 30s. And the track remained for freight purposes and stuff like that. Right here you could make out two cracks, so this is where the second rail would have been, or still is. And I do have pictures, I do have photographs somewhere of what I'm talking about. There's a Santa Fe maintenance facility. A piece of it's still left. Used to be a huge facility full of vehicles and stuff. Anyways, we'll be right back. We'll be right back. All right, we're here. Now this is the right of way now pointing in the north-south direction, and the tracks would have been right there pointing in a north-south direction as well once upon a time. This is all that's left of that location. So somewhere around there where that storage building is, it was a bigger field, and the tracks would curve and head on back to the location we just came from and continue down to the little depot area where they had the Pacific Electric depot, and that's the area we filmed yesterday. You can still see a crown to this area. And your railroad ties. That's pretty much all that's left of the Pacific Electric, the once mighty Pacific Electric, as it ran and as it pertained to operations down here in Orange County. There's still a lot more areas I could show, but this videotape would go on forever. Right back. All right, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this long, drawn out 4 or 5 part series. I broke them up into many parts so you don't get bored watching them. Watch them at your leisure. Each one has a lot of little different, little interesting things about Orange County and railroad operations down here, in particular Fullerton Station and the Pacific Electric right behind me right here. The line continued north, crossed over the Fullerton Hills into La Habra, and then headed back towards LA proper. You're talking about something that happened 80 years ago, and this is all that's left. Anyways, thank you for joining me right here on Florentino Rebuilding Company YouTube channel. Like I said, this is your world, your planet, just like mine. Go out and explore, check out everything. Take your honey with you, your best friend. Just go out and check everything out. You're only going to be young once. You're only going to be young once. Take advantage of it right now. As a car passed by. You're only going to be young. I don't know what age you are right now, but you're only going to be this age once. So get your camera out, get your tripod, go out and film what you got to film. Check out the interesting stuff that's around you, whether it's in downtown Long Beach with all the old buildings and stuff I shoot down there, or down here with the railroad stuff in Fullerton proper, or the upcoming series I'm going to have on Orange County's remaining packing houses and packing house buildings, what's left today. That's going to be coming up. I really want to work on that. That'll be coming up over the next few weeks. I can't tell you when, but that's basically the next project. Anyways, you guys have an amazing rest of your weekend. You all take care, but most importantly, you all have a blessed rest of your weekend. So you guys take care.